too.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
Kelly did the
nice.
challenge down by an
Oh,
hour
that
ago.
looks good.
Had to make some changes there.
Okay, we are live on YouTube, everybody, just as an FYI. I am going to go ahead and...
Terry, you throwing down Longhorn? We're gonna,
Is.
yeah, all right. It's gonna get going in the chat pretty soon.
It is.
You ready to let everybody in, Jen?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's go.
Can everybody see my screen all right?
Yeah, perfect. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us to the first ever Battle of the FEBies. Oklahoma FEB, North Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth FEB, and the Houston FEB are coming together to celebrate the CFC through the Battle of the FEBies. So welcome. My name is Mike May. I'm the National Executive Director for Outreach Coordinator Services for your combined federal campaign, and I'm joined by Jennifer Howard, our Operations Director, and the creator of the Battle of the FEBies. So I'm going to turn it over to Jen now to get us started.
Thanks, Mike. I showed up in true spirit today. I'm wearing a lanyard with a medal, a CFC medal today, to celebrate this Finish Strong event with our courageous and brave and such incredible leadership team here. Kelly, Mike, I know Bob Musgrove is on his way in, Chris Hooper, Kim Shepard I saw with us as well, and I believe Julius Keys is in the list. So thank you to all of you for being here today, to our charities for showing up. We really appreciate it. We're so excited to finish strong today and to show up and show out for so many worthy nonprofits that are in greater need than ever before. So as we get started, I did send a pre-email to our registrants today. We had about 100 people register for the event, and it included housekeeping notes. So of course, keeping yourself on mute unless you're speaking is very important. Federal guests, if you could update your name to put your zone number in front of it, we would like to see the representation here today from each zone. If you're coming out of the Oklahoma, North Texas, the Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle, you are zone 016, zone 16. North Texas area is zone 17. And then our Texas Gulf Coast, Houston, the Rio Grande Valley area would be zone 18. So if you could just throw that at the front of your name, that would be fantastic. And then charities, put your CFC code at the front of your name. It's always good to have that code front and center. And then finally, we're going to teach you something possibly you have not done before. We are all learning together in this new virtual environment as we lean forward into the future of the Combined Federal Campaign. What we see will be a hybrid campaign in the future. We are going to pin our hosts. And so who are your hosts? Who is the leadership? Who has said yes to taking a pie in the face today? Starting with Oklahoma and North Texas, you've got Chris Hooper, the Executive Director for the Federal Executive Board there. If you could hover over his picture, the 3 dots, the window will pop up and you'll see something that says pin. If you pin him, he's going to stay front and center on your screen. And so this ensures that at the end of the presentation, you get to see your leadership. You're not scrolling trying to find them. Your leadership get pinned. So go ahead and grab Kim and Chris, and hi Kim, I see you. Let's go ahead and add a pin to them for zone 16. Welcome Oklahoma. Zone 18, Texas Gulf Coast. We are looking for Bob Musgrove and Julius Keys. So feel free to look through the presentation or scroll through your video to find them as well, and pin Julius Keys and Bob Musgrove, Executive Director for, I see you, Bob. Welcome. So glad you could make it in. And then finally, Dallas-Fort Worth, our North Texas CFC. Mike Coyne, Kelly Anderson, thank you so much for being here today. Everybody, if you could find their pictures, and certainly their cameras are likely on, and so they are easy to spot as you. Thanks, Mike. Good to see you. Go ahead and add pins for our North Texas team. So getting started, how does this work, right? This is only the second time we've done this, in all honesty. So we are certainly excited to do this again. What we are going to be doing today is we are going to be generating contributions during this hour, this presentation, this battle of the FEBs. So on my screen, you can see the goals that were set. The top three are your FEB, your zone-wide totals, goals that were set by the different FEBs, as well as where they're starting at as of their report. We pulled a report, and this is what these zones have generated so far. The bottom three lines include our LFCC chairs. Kim Shepard, Mike Coyne, Julius Keys have set goals for their agencies. And the totals here vary based on a number of criteria, whether it's their own department agency size or their zone size, their history of giving, et cetera. So they have set goals. We have a starting point. And throughout the course of this presentation, you're going to hear from charities. You're going to hear from our leadership team sharing their why CFC is important to them. And at the end, we will take a moment. Our zone managers, Antonia, Rosemary, and Bailey Gordon, will all have a few words to say as Mike May and I step away to pull another report. And, drum roll, please, get your pies ready. We will have the grand finale at the end. So if you have any—
Hey, Jen, is there anything special about the pies that we need to show off? I mean, is there anything going down between Oklahoma, Texas?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mike. I'm going to be introducing Chris Hooper first to kick us off, and I will let Chris share what is going to be happening here as we get this party started. So Chris Hooper with Oklahoma Federal Executive Board, would you like to say a few words?
Good morning, Kim, Jennifer, Mike, everybody, good morning. Before we get started, since Mike did sort of kind of ask the question about is there a little rivalry going on between the Oklahoma, North Texas, Houston, and Dallas FEBs, my pie here is this god-awful looking burnt orange color, which should be outlawed in the great state of Oklahoma. You can see it. There you go. Let me kind of zoom in there. So, well, good morning. So, and thank you all so much for joining. I am the director of the Oklahoma FEB, and I am just honored and blessed to be a part of the CFC. Have been for a number of years. One of the questions was asked me, why are you involved in the CFC? And it's not just because of my job. That's, to me, it was what attracted me. One of the greatest things that attracted me to this job as director was to get to work with the CFC each and every year. Since my days of joining the military in the late 80s, some chief petty officer handed me a form saying, "Hey, Hooper, you familiar with the CFC?" And my answer was, "No, Chief." He said, "Fill this out." And my answer was very strongly, "Yes, Chief." And I filled it out. And not realizing the impact of it. It was sort of given to me and then explained to me later. And so throughout my military career and into my civil service career, I have been a strong supporter, advocate, cheerleader in a variety of roles of the CFC, and just love everything that the campaign represents on an aggregate level, and most importantly, the impact it has at the local level on our charities and on our communities at large. For me, my passion is veterans. Spoiler alert, veterans. And I've been contributing to the veteran organizations for a number of years. In fact, I was glad to see, as I call it, a locally grown, nationally known charity, Folds of Honor, come back to the CFC this last year, which was great. So really was right to my heart, because they are right. The president and CEO of Folds of Honor lives right up in Owasso, just outside Tulsa. So yeah, so that's the CFC to me has always been in my heart, been with me for 4 decades. And one of the things I think I love about CFC is over the years, it's giving's easy. I mean, they've made it so easy now. And in the midst of a pandemic, online giving, I think, Jennifer, has increased exponentially what we have seen over the last couple of years. I think somewhere 90+%, if I remember what the data suggests. So, giving is easy. To me, after 30+ years, it's intuitive. It is absolutely intuitive. October comes around, I go through the book, I find my charity, and I give. It's that simple. And the great thing is like many of you, I have lost my tax forms. Thankfully, I can go onto the website and download those forms because we are in the midst of tax season. So, however, I'm just a part of the CFC here in the Oklahoma, North Texas. Really, where the boots hit the ground is Miss Kim Shepard. So I want to acknowledge Kim, who works for the Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center here in Oklahoma City and is the chair of the LFCC. And without her, we would not be having the success we're having thus far. So Kim, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. We are here today to have some fun and to finish strong. And my house is divided. I'm an OU fan and my husband's a Longhorn fan. So he is very excited about getting to possibly pie me this afternoon or this morning. So it's been a pleasure for me to serve as the LFCC chair this year for the Oklahoma and North Texas zone. For those of you that have already given, I want to thank you. And while this year's campaign has been challenging with everything that's going on with COVID and the elections and more, we still had a great campaign with many creative ideas. And for me, every day when I watch the news, it's been a reminder of why CFC is important. And I see the long lines for the food banks and hear stories of many people that are in need. Why do I give to CFC? Well, growing up, my mother, she believed it was important for my brother and I to understand the importance of giving to others. She instilled in us the values of gratitude and service to others. And she did this because she understood firsthand why it's important to give to others. Her family received much needed help when her father was killed in a trucking accident when she was just 12 years old. And while her mother did everything that she could to support 3 kids and a new baby, it just wasn't enough. And so they needed a little helping hand, and Salvation Army was there to help. They provided my mother's family with food for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and even a few Christmas presents to kind of put a smile on their face at a time when they really needed it most. And so even though my mother's family was eventually able to get back on their feet financially, my mother never forgot the support that the Salvation Army provided to her and her family, and when they needed it. And so she thought it was important to, teach my brother and I about giving back to others. So I've been giving to the CFC since I've worked for the FAA for over 29 years. It's an easy way to give back to charities in the community and to give people a helping hand for someone just like my mother's family. So it's important to give back with our talents and our time. And, tomorrow is never promised to any of us. So pledges given to CFC help people right here in the community, in our nation, and throughout the world. So collectively, we can make a big difference in the lives of many. And I hope that you choose to give to CFC today and help us finish our campaign strong and help those in need. So now I would like to introduce Bailey Gordon, who is our zone manager. I've had the pleasure of working with her this year, and she's just done a fantastic job with our campaign. So I'll turn it over to Bailey.
Right. Thanks, Kim. And thank you so much, Chris. I feel like I've got the dream team over here. So I'll brag on you guys for a little bit, but it is really my pleasure to get to introduce one of our amazing CFC charities from Oklahoma and North Texas, Positive Tomorrows. Positive Tomorrows is Oklahoma's only elementary school and social service organization specifically for children and families experiencing homelessness. Positive Tomorrows gives kids a stability and a quality education while their parents get the support they need to create a better life. So I'm so excited to have Jordan Livingston here. So she can tell the story much better than I can. And Jordan, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Great. Well, thank you, Bailey, so much. And thank you for everybody just welcoming us here and being able to share our story just a little bit in a couple of minutes. But just like Bailey said, we are the only private school in Oklahoma that specifically serves kiddos and families experiencing homelessness. So for our kiddos, it is a transition school. So kind of what that looks like is we have kiddos and their families come and partner with us, set goals to become a stable environment for them. We work on getting the kiddos back on their own education level. And then once they are back on their level, the family is supported and stable, and they transition back to public school. So right now, our building, we range from birth through 6th grade, and we have roughly 98 kiddos that are enrolled. Now, some exciting news is that a year ago, we moved into a brand new building. And so we're not at full capacity in our brand new building yet. We'll eventually be able to hold 210 kids ranging from birth through 8th grade. So we're still growing, which we're very grateful for you being able to share our story, because again, by your donations, we're able to expand and help more families and more kiddos. But when they come to our school, just a few main things we like to focus on is that for our kiddos, we want them to feel comfortable here. A lot of times, based on what their situation is, they bounce around from place to place. So there are 3 main areas that our kiddos come from: 50% of them come from the local shelters in the area. So we've got some city rescue missions, Salvation Army, YWCA domestic violence shelter, but that's about half of our kids. Then we have about a quarter of our kids in transitional living, which is where they want all our kids to be, because that means they're almost stable, but they're not fully there yet. And then the last quarter of our kiddos are kind of the ones that tug on your heart a little bit more. They're considered couch homeless, and that's very unpredictable, bouncing around from place to place. So when they get here, we want to not only make the family feel comfortable, giving them those basic needs, but we want the kiddos to feel comfortable. So the kiddos know when they get here that they are provided transportation. We bring them to and from school every day. Even if that changes, we change our bus routes every day for them. We provide them with 3 meals a day and snacks. So that way, again, with hunger, that their tummies are full. And then we also want to provide them those basic needs to feel confident in themselves. Because again, if you come to school with, let's say, a shirt that has a hole in it, or your shoes are 2 sizes too small, it's really hard to focus in school. So for us, we want to provide them those shoes, clothing, medical care, counseling, hygiene products to feel confident in who they are. So that way, again, they can be successful. Just a small little story, because again, right here, our kiddos feel confident in who they are. And that's based on what we can do through your donations. So again, for one time that I came in, it was one of my first summers here at Positive Tomorrows. We had a kiddo who was new, and he was sitting down with all of his friends. And he was talking about how he really liked this new school because he wasn't the bad kid here. And what was interesting was other kids at his table started saying, "That's so strange. I was the bad kid at my school." Or I was the bad kid at my school. How weird. But I think what's crazy is that it's not that they were the bad kids. It was that, their shoes were too tight, or they had so much going on at home that they couldn't focus in school. So that's what we do. We partner with the families. We bring the kiddos to school. And we want to make sure that they get back on their school level, but also their support is there so that they can be successful and have a positive tomorrows. So again, thank you guys so much for letting me come and speak. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you very much, Jen. That was, we've done a lot of these presentations over this year, and every time we do it, we learn so much about what the charities do. You learn things that you didn't want to know but need to know. I didn't want to know that there was a word called couch homeless. I needed to know that. So thank you, Jordan. Thank you for what you do. And it's been an incredible education this year. Some of the things that we've done make, as Chris said, make giving easy. So right now, Jen is taking everybody that doesn't know, but we believe probably most of the people on the call do know, how to go to the CFC and donate. So the CFC login page, givecfc.org, click donate at the top. And as Chris pointed out, for those of us that have accounts at the donate, the Give CFC, and then cfcgiving.opm.gov, you just go right in and sign in. As contractors, all your OCs can just sign right in. But if you haven't signed in yet, click sign up. And make sure when you enter your email, confirmation email and password, that they're going to send you a confirmation email with a live link. And I think everybody on our team has had this experience. We had to go to our spam folder and find that email. So mark it as not junk once you find it, and then go in and start your contact and start your account. One of the most important things about the account, especially for today, those people giving today, is that when you start your account, you are recognized as part of one of our 3 host zones. Jen's local, where she puts in as in her profile settings, her local zip code, recognizes her as from the North Texas CFC zone. So make sure that you put in the primary work zone correctly, and then you will be recognized as either from the Oklahoma, North Texas CFC, the Texas Gulf Coast CFC, or North Texas CFC zone. And all the pledges that come in during this hour, during this Battle of the FEB, this exciting, getting ready to I've pinned, it's funny watching the videos or the the streams of the folks that we've pinned. Mike Coyne, he looks the most nervous. I'm just saying. I don't know why his camera's so far away, but I think he's. And then didn't I see, Mike, somebody just dropped the pie right next to you? Did they? Do you have your pie there?
Yeah, that's my wife. She's getting it ready, but it's the ready whip, so it's back in the refrigerator waiting to so it doesn't get too flat before I get a taste of it.
Well, very important.
Thank you.
And very important, guys. Again, we are hosting this event to finish strong, an hour of giving from our federal communities across these 3 zones. Please create your account or log into your account now, search for a charity and make a pledge during this hour, as we will be pulling reports at approximately 9:45, 9:50 to determine who gets to take these pies to the face. So, and Kelly, you look so gorgeous today. I hate to think that your beautiful hair and makeup and attire is going to be pied today, but thank you for doing so. I appreciate it. So that's the giving account. And again, like Mike said, as you create your account today, if you haven't yet created a profile, that PIN verification will likely go into your junk, spam, etc. So go grab that, click the link, get logged in, and get your pledge made now. So we appreciate everybody's support this hour. And with that, we're going to be turning it over to Bob Musgrove, who is with us from the Houston FEB. He is the Executive Director for the Houston Federal Executive Board. And for those of you that are not familiar with our Federal Executive Board positions, Chris, Kellyanne, as well as Bob, they are 3 of 28 Federal Executive Board directors who serve as the catalyst for community in their federal network in their areas. They bring leadership to the table. Many of you here are a part of these Federal Executive Board, members of these Federal Executive Boards, and they really are just so front and center to everything from emergency preparedness to community engagement to what you see here in supporting the Combined Federal Campaign and bringing federal agencies in their area together to continue to support their missions and the missions of our federal workforce as a whole. So Mike, or Kelly and Chris and Bob, we cannot thank you enough for the important positions you play in the federal community and of course with the CFC. So Bob, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you if you would like to share with those in attendance your why and why CFC is important to you, Bob.
Okay, thank you very much. I feel like I've had a lesson in IT security this morning in trying to get connected to this particular meeting. NASA doesn't like Zoom, so I've had to do some finagling around real time, but I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me, and I'm glad to be a part of this activity this morning. My wife and I both work for NASA. We've both been contributors to CFC over the years. To be honest with you, it's been a little on and off sometimes. I think this is a good year despite what all happened in 2020. So I think it's a good time to donate. The federal government employees are in a good position to do that. And something to keep in mind is that we're all in this together, as public service employees. When we give back to the Combined Federal Campaign, it's important. Our gifts, no matter what the size, make a huge impact on charities that we give to, and the CFC funds are unrestricted. They're paid out each month. You don't have to necessarily donate a big chunk. You can make it a monthly donation, and the charities depend on that. They rely on that, and they leverage those funds, especially when unforeseen circumstances in our communities arise. And so I think it's very important, for us to all give when we can and where we can, and the opportunity to pick your specific charity is something that is definitely a plus, and having a one-stop place for us to do that makes it very easy for us as federal employees to contribute. So I wanted to give Julius Keys a little bit of time to talk. He is our chair for our local committee, and this is the first time for him to do that, and this is the first time for me as a Federal Executive Board Executive Director to do this. So we're both chartering new territory, and we're glad to help out wherever we can. So Julius, jump on in.
All right, thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. I just want to say to the federal community, it's an honor and pleasure to participate in an event like this, to where we can help charities across the Texas Gulf Coast area. I also have to thank Jennifer and her staff, Mike and Rosemary, because without them, it would be very difficult for us to get the word out and to make this a successful campaign. So I just appreciate the great job that you guys do in making this happen. So the only thing that I really wanted to mention from my perspective is that the reason why I give and I encourage others to do so. And for me personally, I have a passion for helping others. And so I just think that the federal campaign it aligns with that purpose to just help others that are in need. And so I just want to encourage everyone to do exactly what Mike mentioned, and he showed us how to do it. Honestly, I had some issues, but work through those issues, any issue that we might have given online or whatever the case may be. Feel free to reach out to me and even Rosemary. She's very helpful. So I'm available for anyone who might need any type of assistance. Just feel free to reach out to me. Thanks again, Bob, for introducing me. And that's pretty much all that I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Julius. And I also wanted to introduce our zone manager. She's the behind the scenes wizard in making things happen in the Houston Gulf Coast area. And so our zone manager is Rosemary Henley.
Thank you, Bob. I'm pleased to be here and thank you all for attending. What I'd like to do is talk a little bit about compassionate touch and specifically talk about Rosé. I'll let Rosé tell her own story, but I'll tell you about Rosé. I've been doing CFC a little over 10 years. I have known Rosé all through those years. Rosé is compassionate. She is committed to the mission of compassionate touch. And I do have to admit, because I know all the CFC charities help make the world a better place, but I may not know specifics of each organization. So, and the same is true of Rosé. I know Rosé showed up. She even offered her facilities to host a CFC event. But it was at one of our events, and when I heard Rosé speak, that's when I had my giant head-blowing aha moment. It's like, oh, that's what she does. And it's one of those things that you don't really think about, but it's really, really needed. So having said that, I talked about Rosé. I'll let Rosé talk about her organization, Compassionate Touch. Rosé? Hopefully she's here. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm at her website. She did submit a video. Is she here? Okay, let me tell you what her mission is.
Hey, Rosemary, I can just play her video for you if you'd like.
Okay, if you want to do that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Here at Compassionate Touch Inc., we provide short-term emergency resources for hospital patients and caregivers. We partner with medical social services departments in Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, and other Central Texas area hospitals. Our CFC code is 21704. Due to the continued generosity from the CFC employees, we're able to assist patients with meals, lodging, parking and travel, and other special needs such as rent and utilities. Here at Compassionate Touch Inc., we ease the burden of those who find themselves in a financial crisis due to illness or to the illness of their loved ones. Whether you give to Compassionate Touch Inc. or to any other CFC-approved organization, we thank you for your continued support. We thank you for showing some love, and we thank you for being our partners in compassion.
If I could, I'd like to add just a little simple footnote to show how sometimes things have to hit home to a personal experience. One of the reasons why Rosé's message had a big aha for me, I remember going to an event at MedVac, which is like the city VA hospital, so big, and parking is horrendous. You may have to park seemingly at the edge of Houston. And so when she talked about one of the things that they do is when relatives are in the hospital and they help out with maybe just the parking fees or transportation fees. And that to me, I thought, oh, okay, yeah. So anyway, that was my footnote. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary and Jen. I think the way that the campaign has evolved this year with technologically upping its game across the board. Charities have done the same thing. Charities have stepped up and supported the campaign. Their passion, what they provide, their services, they inspire all of us to give to the CFC. And I think that's a perfect example of using technology to reach out to federal employees, making a CFC specific video, having watched the charities for years, engage federal employees. It is what drives people to give, inspires people to give, to find the charities you support that everybody has, all the leadership here has spoken so eloquently about. And I think that's a perfect example of watching the charities step forward and come and meet the federal employees wherever they can. And I think that's a testament to their love of the CFC and what the CFC has done for charities over the years. Don't you agree, Jen?
I couldn't agree more, Mike. And today is Thankful Thursday. This Finish Strong week. This is the last week of the campaign, everybody. The online giving site will close tomorrow. If you happen to have given via paper, just send it in through the mail. The sooner the better, so it can get processed, but they will continue to take paper after Friday. So if you hear a colleague that hasn't taken, needs to pledge and didn't get a chance to do it online, send them a pledge card, get it sent into the CCA. We've provided instructions, but today is Thankful Thursday. That is the theme of today's Finish Strong event. And in fact, Antonia, if you want to drop in the chat the link to our playlist that we created, we invited charities to say thank you, to express the importance of your program, and to share a message of gratitude. And we created the playlist just last night. Antonia and her wonderful husband created a playlist for us. And so that is being shared today in our daily messaging. Feel free to take a moment to look at that and see many charities, or to join us at noon for our daily call of gratitude, where charities are getting on and sharing the importance of CFC to federal employees from all across the country. So thank you guys all for what you are doing. And I'm so excited now to introduce somebody who means so much to me here in North Texas. I started my career with CFC in Alaska. Many of you guys know I was Alaska born, raised, lived there, fell into CFC there, spent several years doing CFC up in Alaska, and then found myself in Dallas-Fort Worth, working alongside some of the most incredible federal employees that I didn't know existed. Alaska is a little bit of a rock, in all honesty. That's an interesting place to grow up. They say they're typically 7 years behind the time. They're not necessarily wrong. I got down to Dallas-Fort Worth, didn't know that 35 W&E actually doesn't go west and east. I was lost. And because of people like Kelly Anderson and the people on our local federal coordinating committee, they embraced me, they took me in, they believed in me and gave me a shot. And I was so grateful, and continue to be so grateful, from calls before dawn to calls long after the sun has set. They have been here to support us, to support our community, and to care for the nonprofits that work tirelessly in support of so many great missions. So Kelly Anderson, thank you for being here, our Federal Executive Director from North Texas. I will pass it over to you.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that beautiful introduction. You have just such a beautiful spirit. It was easy to acclimate to you and work with you. And I consider you not only a work colleague, but I consider you a friend. So thank you for all you do. As someone said earlier, we couldn't do any of this without you and without the work that you, Mike, Antonia, and some of the other zone managers do. We really, really appreciate that. As Jennifer said, I'm Kelly Anderson. I'm the executive director of the Dallas-Fort Worth Federal Executive Board. And I just want to say, Chris talked about his pie. We kind of have a throwdown challenge, and I'll show you all my pie. I dressed up in Sooner red just for him, and here's my pie, Boomer Sooner. So we have a challenge of the pie. So we have certainly have our pie ready here for the end of the event today. Just a moment, if I'd like to take just a moment and tell you why I give. When I was a child, my mother was always the neighborhood mom. Kids could go over to her house and get a sandwich or, have something to eat, or, we were always giving away our shoes, our clothes, whatever it was, we were always givers. And with my dad being military and our military background, we were always givers. And that kind of translated into my life, always being a giver. All of my brothers and sisters are public servants. We just love to give. And that spirit of giving is what the CFC is all about. We believe in it. We believe in giving. That same sentiment has translated and transferred over to my only daughter, who, without any, guidance from me, goes to the women's shelter and gives clothes and coats and shoes and purges her closet at a certain time in the year. And so we're very, very thankful for the CFC and for that spirit of giving. And I believe that a strong community is a good place to call home. When we have a strong community, when we're givers to those that are less fortunate, we all win. We all win when a child succeeds in school, when families are financially stable, when people are in good health. We all win when those who have served and continue to serve are supported. This is our community. This is our home. We're so fortunate to be able to give back through the Combined Federal Campaign to ensure a better tomorrow for us all. So I appreciate the collaboration. Again, we couldn't do it without Jennifer and her team, and Antonia, who you can see. I always say Antonia is bad to the bone. You see how she zipped in there and got that video ready. She's always ready. She's always on point, and we appreciate her. And I just want to say very quickly, and I don't want to begin to call names because I'll miss someone, but I do want to say I appreciate just the support of Deputy Director Will Hooks from the Federal Protective Service, Stephanie Collier from the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, Lakeisha Pope Jackson for the Administration of Children and Family for HHS. They are all very strong supporters of the CFC and of the Dallas-Fort Worth Federal Executive Board. So they, among all the others who are here online with us today, we are so very fortunate and very grateful that you've joined us. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our LFCC chair, who I always say I'm a Mike Coyne fan. He is also a very, very strong supporter of the CFC and of the Federal Executive Board for so many years. I love his leadership style and the way that he helps us through his role in the chair of the LFCC. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to LFCC Chair and Chair of the DFW Federal Executive Board 2021, Mr. Mike Coyne. Thank you, Mike.
Well, thank you, Kelly. That's very nice of you to say. It's really easy when you have, I want to take issue with something that Bailey said at the beginning. She said she had the dream team, and that's not possible because I have the dream team with Kelly, Jen, Antonia. It's been amazing to just watch the work getting done. It's really humbling to see how hard everybody's been working for the campaign this year. And it's been a really wonderful thing. I don't want to, re-say the same things that everybody else has been saying. I mean, we're all federal workers. I think when we get into federal service, we all get in for our own reasons, but I think we all stay because there's a public service there, and it's a giving spirit that we all have. And CFC is just really just an extension of that. It's a way for us to show our local charity support, our national charity support. And so, you know, I want to thank everybody that's given so far, even if you don't get us across the line to get the pie in the face. I had to put mine back in the refrigerator. I told you, Mike, that we used the Ready Whip. It was starting to, you know, shrink down a little bit. And we don't want to have that happen. It was starting to look like the, for any of the Boomer Sooner people, the Longhorn football team looked really good at the beginning and started to melt there towards the end. I'm an Aggie, so I can say things about the Longhorns. I'll tell you a little bit about why I give to CFC. You know, of course, giving to charities is something that we all do and we all enjoy. But I find personal value in doing it as a family event. So I have 2 daughters and a wife. We sit down around this time of the year and look at the different charities, and each one of us selects one charity to give to. I can tell you for mine, my mother passed away from cancer about 13 years ago now. And so I usually look for cancer charities and those sorts of things. And my wife tends to lean towards the local charities that either provide for food services, like Tarrant Area Food Bank is one that she's used in the past, Meals for Wheels. And then my daughters they're using it as an opportunity to explore what they are interested in. And so it's been a really good avenue for us to discuss how we can help people less fortunate than us. And it's been a really amazing thing to happen. So I will say thank you to everybody. And at the beginning, Jen, you showed the listing with the a low number, and I'm sure everybody looked and saw, oh, only $8,000, but then I'm asking for $2,000. What's going on there? I work for the National Weather Service. I'm at our regional headquarters, and we have small offices that are sprinkled across the 3 zones. So my $2,000 challenge actually went out to the 12 offices that cover the 3 zones. So sorry, Kelly, I'm actually working against the North Texas zone for winning possibly. But I think it's all for a good cause. So hopefully I'll get a pie in the face across from the help of all of our offices across the 3 zones. With that, I will pass it off to Antonia Gonzalez. She is our zone manager, and she has been amazing and helpful and wonderful. And I don't know that I could throw in more compliments than that. But she has been really, really great, and it's made this a very easy run for us. So Antonia, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mike. To Mike and Kelly, you know, I couldn't have better leadership support here. You all make it easy for me to do what I do. So thank both of you. I am going to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. We have Mr. Albertus Lewis with the Black Academy of Arts and Letters joining us today. And the Black Academy of Arts and Letters is an organization here in Dallas. They have a theater, actually, I think 2 theaters. They've got a gallery, museum, and they really support artists, African-American artists here in the community. So Mr. Albertus Lewis, thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you. And I'd like to say, if everybody else is a dream team, Antonio, you and your group, y'all are the GOATs. And for anybody who doesn't know what that means greatest of all time. My name is Albertus Lewis. Good morning, CFC family. I'm a board member with the Black Academy of Arts and Letters. Our CFC number is 69221. And I'm honored to, I hope we have the video available for everybody. I'm honored to share with you a performance from T-Ball's 37th annual 2-time Emmy-winning Black Music and Civil Rights Concert, featuring Dorinda Clark Cole and T-Ball's 200 Voice Concert Choir. Enjoy.
Well, y'all, come on, let's just have a little church here. Is it all right? Come on, put them hands together. How I got over, how I got over, and my soul look back in one day. Yeah, how I got over, how I got over, then my soul look back and wonder how I got over. Just as soon as I see Jesus, the man that did it for me. He suffered last night. You know he did on Calvary. I wanna thank you for how you brought me. I wanna thank you for how you taught me. I wanna thank you 'cause you never left me. I wanna thank you 'cause you haven't left me. I wanna sing. I'm gonna shout this evening, but no my soul. Yeah, how I got.
Well, I want to say after COVID is over, I need to go and see a concert at T-Ball.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Lewis.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a wonderful video, Albertus. We are so grateful for your continued support for Compassionate Touch, Positive Tomorrows, and all the charities who continue to say yes to the Combined Federal Campaign. We know that you guys have stepped up and stepped out with your response to COVID, that the need is greater than ever before. And we are here to support you. We see you, and we are so grateful for you guys and all the worthy charities for the work that you guys do. So we are going to, Mike and I are going to step away and pull some results and get the grand numbers, the final numbers in to tie our event together. Again, thank you guys, everybody, for being here today. And I believe Tara, Antonia, Rosemary, Bailey, you guys are going to share a few words with those on the call today and recognize some individuals. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you so much to James and Christopher Maxwell. You guys have been on just about every single event that I have held here in North Texas, and y'all have joined our weekly Cause Week convos. I know that you guys have been really instrumental within the Department of Homeland Health and Human Services to try to get the word out to all of your key workers, your coordinators. So I just wanted to extend a great big thank you for your work with the campaign this year, and thank you for showing up.
I'll go next.
Go ahead, Rosemary.
Okay. I'd like to thank Bob and for being engaged in the CFC. I'd like to thank Julius. Julius was, he's the LFCC chair, and it was just interesting the way he was made chair. I was at a meeting and it was like, okay, Julius, you'll be chair, right? And he was, yeah, okay. But he stepped on board and he's been engaged. He answers my calls. He answers my email. So thank you both to Bob and to Julius.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I guess for my thanks, I've already talked about how wonderful Chris Hooper and Kim Shepard have been, but I also want to recognize the team at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. I know we have lots and lots of FAA employees with us today. So thank you all, and to our amazing coordinator there, Debbie Ugleen, to Cindy Starnes. I see Tom Burton here. There are so many who are so passionate about the CFC. So thank you all for your energy through this campaign. I know it helped me become re-energized all over again every time we would have an event together. And I just want to ask Antonia, we didn't play the Positive Tomorrows video. Would we have time to show their video of their students singing?
Let me pull that back up. Bear with me one sec, okay?
Perfect. Yeah, I want to thank Jordan for sharing with us about Positive Tomorrows. There's so many incredible charities. And if you haven't made your gift yet, I know they've been polling results. You really just can't go wrong with giving to any of these CFC charities. They have been vetted for you. They've been selected for you, and they are truly all worthy causes. So just choosing exactly what means the most to you and which organizations speak to you the most. Every dollar helps, and every charity that you give to, I'm sure will be so grateful to have your support.
Who I am makes a difference. I'm a positive tomorrow star.
Successful and tenacious.
I finish what I start. I am able to help my friends in need. I am ready to learn, ready to do the right thing, ready to succeed. I am successful. I know that I go far. Who I am makes a difference. I'm a positive star.
Oh, we love those positive tomorrow stars. Thank you, Antonia.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us. I think Jen and I are putting together the final number. She's going to put it up on the screen in a second. And Julius and Kim and everybody, I think the important part about the pieing is the pie in the face, but I think the deliverer needs to be identified. So I heard a couple spouses are involved. We remember the first one. Anita Leach, the FEB director out of Gateway, it was her birthday. No, it was her husband's birthday that day. And he said to her that you've given me the best birthday present I've ever had. I get to pie you in the face. So those are the kind of spouses we understand and appreciate taking part in this event. So anybody want to go around and if you are to take a pie, who is going to be delivering that pie? Chris Hooper.
Thanks, Mike. I just texted my wife and gave her the 5-minute warning, so she'll be joining us in 4 minutes. And so, Kim, you and I had a sidebar conversation about this a couple of days ago about if we get pies, and you said, your husband looking forward to it. I mentioned that to my wife, and she's like, I've never done this before. And so I think she's been down there warming up her arm, kind of getting into that pitching motion, ready to make me pay for 32 years of marital bliss with her. And so this is equally amounts of part of this contest, but I also think she's looking forward to, so you might see a little extra muscle in it when she rubs it in my face, Mike. So she'll be joining us here in about 3 minutes.
We look forward to that. Kim, is that your
this is my husband, and
other
you can
half?
see, you can see the Longhorn Sooner, battle here. So he's excited about pieing me today.
What we call civil war in a house.
Is.
I think that's exactly what that is.
Thank
you for joining us. Thank him for joining us. Bob?
Hey, so my wife seems eager, standing by with a Houston pie, which looks nice right now. It's sliding down, by the way. So we're already making a mess. We're ready to go.
Perfect. Kellyanne?
Yes, well, I have my 18-year-old, my one and only daughter, and her dog, Stella and Sean, who they're all going off to college, and she is eager to pie me in the face. I don't know, I have no understanding as to why she would want to pie her mother.
I've been waiting for this for 18 years.
So we're ready, and we have the pie behind us, and we're ready to go.
Mike?
And my wife will be helping with the festivities as well. She'll be stepping in. There she is. There's Lori.
All right. Oh, there's a puppy there.
Yes, and we also have a dog that's ready to help out if there's any spillage of the pie material. What's funny is my 18-year-old daughter or 17-year-old is at school currently. She wanted to leave school to come to do this. I don't know what that says about how she feels about me, but well, maybe I'll let her do it at a different time.
Well, this is being recorded and it's being streamed live on YouTube, so she's probably watching it right now anyways, Mike. But we will have a clip for her, I promise you. And Julius, you got to turn your camera on.
All right. My spouse is actually finishing a facial, so she would not come on camera just yet. But I do have the pie ready here. I don't know if I can bring it down.
Wow.
But y'all said it looks pretty tasty. Everybody else pie might look a little bit better than mine, but I think mine tastes the best. So we'll see how it goes.
Great, everyone. So again, we just for full disclosure, this will be recorded. We plan to hopefully and this is the amazing Antonia. We're going to get some slow motion shots. We hope to get GIFs in your inbox so you can share it with your team later on today. So this is all going to be captured, and the event will be captured, and we'll share them with you. So tomorrow when the CFC closes, or at least the Giving Site closes, you guys can send this out and celebrate your commitment to this year's campaign and celebrate the wrapping up of the campaign. So with that, Jen, do I need a drum roll? What are we where are we at with the results? I think you're muted.
You know, that good housekeeping tip, right? I'm trying to practice it myself. So your timing is impeccable, Mike. I'm super, super excited to say, and I haven't added the numbers up in total to see what we have done here, but let me go ahead and share my video. We certainly could get a drum roll going if you guys would. Share screen, dun, dun, dun. Results are in. Get your pies ready. The goals have all been met and surpassed.
Wow.
Congratulations. I'm so excited.
That is incredible.
What an incredible accomplishment. So that was some quick data mining, pivot table creation. So woo. That was
high time.
Calculate.
So we need to do this in order, Jen. That is incredible. Congratulations to the leadership. Congratulations. I've been watching this. I don't think I've ever seen during a Zoom call more people come in during the call. And we are right now at about 72, 73 people that have logged in to see this. And we've seen about 20 or 30 come in during the call. So there is some interest out there.
Mike, this is also being aired on YouTube. And we have people watching live on YouTube right now that can't access Zoom. So it's even more than the 72 you're seeing here. So
wonderful. So Jen, do you want to take down the results? We know it's confirmed, it's official. We just need to come in with an order. And I'm thinking we'll go with the order that we had the wonderful on our roll call today. With we'll start with Oklahoma North Texas FEB, and then the LFCC chair, and then we'll go to Texas Gulf Coast FEB and the LFCC chair, and wrap it up with North Texas and FEB, and then Mike Coyne will be our final. So I think it's to you, Mr. Hooper.
All right, with further ado, she has joined us here, my beautiful wife. So, and trust me, she's been waiting 30 plus years to do this. And so thank you guys so much for giving, because without you guys, this campaign's not possible. So again, thank you. So without further ado, sweetheart, you may do the honors.
Take a picture for our family.
There was the rub in at the end. I think told us a lot. That was she kind of held it there and twisted it. She
was waiting 30 years, Mike, to do this. So trust me, it was
style points. Style points. I don't know what the Russian judge gave him, but the California judge said that was a 10. That delivery, nice. Okay, Mr. and Ms. Shepard, you're on. It's a tough act to follow.
Well, so, okay, he's really eager to do this.
No, you're not going to do it to me.
But thank you to all that gave today. I really appreciate it. It's for a great cause. And my husband is very excited about doing this. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, my gosh. It's runny. It's a runny one. The dogs need to be called to clean this up.
So thank you guys.
Nice job. Wonderful. That looks like it was sitting out, Kim.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was good. Kellyanne, that 18-year-old daughter is on deck.
Oh yeah, let me protect my beautiful red shirt with the red Sooner towel here. Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna turn, or how are you gonna do it? Maybe you should do it from this way. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is for not letting me go out sometimes, and I love you. Yay, congratulations.
I hope I get a wedding invite. I can't wait to see her pie her husband. Great. That was great.
Thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Now, Mike, I think there's a lesson there. Chris thought about taking off his glasses and Kellyanne didn't. So I'm just saying. Sorry, Bob. I'm just saying. Kellyanne didn't think about taking off her glasses. Chris did. There might be a lesson there for you as we head forward. That was wonderful.
All right.
Bob, you're up.
No. Hold on, Mike. Where's Mike?
Oh, sorry, it's Mike Coyne. My bad. Sorry, I was looking at the screen wrong.
I'm ready. See, we have towels laid out, so I'm hopeful here. So I'll sit back and be ready.
Yay!
Everyone who donated.
Yes. You ready? We can get an angle.
Yep.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It's colder than you would think.
Wonderful.
All right, Texas Gulf Coast. Here we are. Congratulations.
Okay, so I am going to take my glasses off because I don't know if I'm ever going to do this pie out of the glasses. And my wife is way too anxious over here, but the pie is melting, so we better go quickly. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for donating. To be honest with you, I felt like we set our goal too high, and to see that we exceeded the goal, I'm extremely excited about that, and so very happy to oblige in taking the pie. So are you ready?
I am totally ready. You ready?
No, I'm not ready. Hey. No, it's pretty good, actually.
FEB directors having the time of their life, right? Wonderful.
Well, their spouses are. We know that, and their family. Yes, for sure. Their family is.
All right, Julius.
All right, Julius. Change shirts and everything.
Yeah, I had to put on the old shirt. But all right, here we go.
Yay.
Looking good.
Oh, this is
right.
Cool.
I told y'all mine was gonna taste the best. Oh my God.
Well, that was incredible. I know we've gone over a little bit of time, but we just want to wrap it up by saying to the charities, thank you to the charities on the call. Black Academy of Arts and Letters, Positive Tomorrows, and Compassionate Touch, incredible. Your work inspires federal employees to give. What you showed us today inspires us, and throughout the campaign, this historic 2020 campaign, what you've done to meet the federal employees virtually has just been an inspiration to all of us. Your work continues to change our communities, and thank you very much. Jen?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. There's really moments in our life where we don't have the right words. We don't have the words to express our gratitude, whether it's to our neighbor who helps us, to the volunteers that show up and show out time and time again. Thank you to our federal leadership, the volunteers here today, for being here, for saying yes, for supporting your LFCC chairs, your FEB directors. It is so imperative. Leadership sets the tone, and what an incredible team that we have in all of us together. We are in this together, and we are the face of change and taking pies to the face. Chris, Kelly, Bob, you guys have time and again said yes to such crazy ideas that I have. You have walked through the darkness with me of change and continue to trust me, to trust our team, the CFC team here, the McGuire team. We are so grateful. And with that, well, this is my way of thanking you guys for all that you do. Let's finish strong, everybody. We've got this. Happy 2020-21 campaign, and keep up the great work. Thank you guys so much. for
Right
being
on.
here.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. It was great.
Good job. Thank you.